I'm Starkey Dyke About Town on 103.9 Proud FM, and I'm super pumped today to be talking to the consummate rock star, Adam Lambert. Now, Adam, you have just released your third album, The Original High, with Warner Music, and I've given it a listen, and it has quite a different sound from your earlier stuff, a little more stripped down, a little more experimental, and I wonder, did you set out to create a more intimate album, or did it just start to kind of take shape that way?
It was a little bit of both. I mean, I brought a demo to the executive producers, the demo of The Original High, the title track. And it changed a lot for the final album. It actually got more up-tempo, but the initial vibe of it, like the vocal energy of it and the emotional tone of it, that was what kind of started this whole process. And when they heard that song, they were like, oh, interesting. I had another demo where I was like wailing the entire time, and they were like, yeah, it's amazing that you can do that, but we want to go somewhere else with your voice, like a little bit more of a pull people in a little bit more. And that was like it was a nice kind of shift for me, because I had, been doing all this big stuff for so long. And to me, my mentality is always thinking, oh, when I'm on stage, I want to be big because it's stage. But Max Martin and Shellback are geniuses at what they do, and they know how to pull a listener in. I mean, everybody has these music on with headphones, You want to get right in people's ears. Yeah.
And you've also worked with some other artists on the album, including some that I wouldn't have expected. I really dug the track Rumors with Tove Lo, and it sounded like both of you were taking a bit of a departure from your usual sound. And so I wonder, are you, purposely challenging yourself to step out of your glam comfort zone, or just trying new things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, because I think when you talk about the sound, everybody goes, oh, it's different sound for you. I think that the instruments sound different. The framework, the sonic framework is different, but I think especially with a song like Rumors, actually the vocal approach to that is actually very similar to a lot of the, it's a bit heavier, it's a bit more full-on kind of anthemic. It has almost a rock feel to it, but then we put like an urban beat on it. So I don't know. I think I think it was important to kind of refresh the sound. I think that was important. I think I have amazing fans that have had my back since the beginning, and there's a lot on this album that they'll love, I'm sure. But it was also an idea to be able to appeal to some new ears as well. I really wanted that.
You were talking earlier about being on stage and being big, but I wonder, with this more sort of intimate album, is that going to change when it comes to bringing it to stage? Yeah. No, I think it's interesting, because I felt it's kind of that question of like, what came first, the cart or the horse, the music is a lot more grounded than maybe some of the stuff I've done in the past, than a lot of the material that I did on stage with Queen this summer. It's a little bit more like under. And so, of course, when I get on stage and perform it, I have to go there emotionally. But also, I think that a lot of this music came out of me being in a different place in my life. In my 20s, I was all about the party, and I was playing dress up a lot. I was sort of a wannabe club kid, and I was out at festivals, and I went to Burning Man a bunch of times, and I lived a very like over-the-top life. And I'm in my 30s, and I still like to go out, and I still have my fun, but I think it's all it's cooled off a bit as far as what I want in a night out, or what I expect, or how often I have one of those nights. I feel like emotionally, after hitting the scene with Idol 2, there was so much hype, and it was also new and all these things, and it was very much a fantasy all of a sudden. But now, having lived in it for a little while, everything just feels more settled. I feel more comfortable in my skin. I feel more comfortable as an artist in this world. I feel more comfortable with my fans. I feel more comfortable and confident in my art, in my voice. And I think all of that kind of was the thing that set off that demo of The Original High, and what set the tone for making all these songs. Yeah. I'm in a new place. Okay. Yeah. But you are still working with Queen, and you performed with them last year, and I hear you're going to be performing with them again during the South American leg of the tour. And yeah, I got to see you when you were here in Toronto, and it was fantastic. It was unbelievable, and I feel like
I can't think of any other artist in the world who could effectively step into the shoes of Freddie Mercury. You've got not only the vocal range, but also just that big, bombastic personality that you bring to the stage. I just thought you were excellent. But you've got, 3 solo albums of your own, and you are a bona fide artist in your own right. But do you ever, feel a little giddy still about working with rock legends like Queen?
Of course I get giddy. Of course I get giddy. I mean, and the fact that I got Brian to play on this album was like a big treat. And he's so lovely. He's like he's so nice. He's so gentle. Very gentle man. And he laid down that guitar part in like 3 hours and it was done. It was like, you're amazing. You're a god. That guitar solo was like the second take. I was like, you are really good at this. Of course I still get giddy, and it was a big honor. It was a personal joy, in getting up there and getting to sing these amazing songs, but also like the fact that they were comfortable with me representing them. That was a big honor. It was a big compliment. And it was also a big challenge because I knew that every night there would be diehard Queen fans that were maybe in the audience that were maybe a little skeptical. And so I felt like nightly I had to prove myself. I couldn't get too comfortable.
And I have one last question. The new album is called The Original High. And I'm just wondering, what kind of original high would you say that you are chasing?
I think that definitely like one of the themes is that idea of first love, and when you first fall in love for the first time, it like takes over your whole being. It's so overwhelming. And since that first love, I think I was probably about 24 when that happened. Since then, I've never felt anything like that, and I want to feel that again. I think if I feel that again with somebody, I'll know it's the right thing. You know what I mean? That'll be the sign that I've met somebody that's worth my time.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. I'm Stark, your dyke about town, speaking with Adam Lambert on 103.9 Proud FM, unlike anything you've heard.